Just like last week. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Just like we did last week, we we that's too bright. We'll do it right here. Just like we did last week, we are going to be doing a quick little whatever about this week's classic Lucha Libre movie on El Rey. And I might also talk a little bit about a video I watched on here on YouTube. So tonight's selection was Santo and the Riders of Terror. So we start. It was our setting was um, late 1800s. It looked like it was sort of I guess you would call it a western, except it really wasn't because it takes place in Mexico. So a group of men who are suffering from leprosy escaped the medical facility where they're being treated. And then all these murders and robberies start happening. And the and of course they instantly start blaming the lepers, and the lepers see they're tired of being treated as lepers, and the murders and robberies are actually being committed by these cowboys who live in the town, and they make some kind of deal with the lepers, I guess, to take blame, and they would split the loot and whatnot, and of course they're intending to lie to the lepers. So the lepers they're part in it is that they're scared. They scared the town folks, and then the cowboys rile them up, and then secretly they start robbing people and whatnot. And then they call in Santo, the sheriff calls in Santo to come save the day. And he helps him. They find, that it's really these cowboys, and they fight them and stop them, and then they have to stop the mob of townsfolk who are coming to kill the evil lepers. It's a fun little. It was actually an enjoyable, fun little movie. good Western style exploitation film. Uh, Lots of shooting and fighting and wrestling, and of course Santa wins all his matches, all his fights. There's a difference. He does have a couple of wrestling matches. He wins those, of course. Then he has regular fights with the regular people. You know, the various outlaws and whatnot. It's a weird thing to see this guy in a in a in a the in a mask. Something that they had masks, but like not the because masquerade parties and whatnot, but not that style of mask. I don't know. It's just and he wears wrestling tights with wrestling boots, modernish. So, but then the blue denim shirt and a and a gun. Oh, it was a great movie. It was fun, and there's a nice little message about discrimination and judging people and whatnot. I don't think it was on purpose. I don't know, but it is sort of there. I wish I spoke Spanish so I could watch watch it without the dubbing. No, you know. Probably should learn Spanish for other reasons too, but that's actually a big one. Anyways, well, that was this week's Lucha Libre Classic. If you get a chance, check them out. They're great movies. They're fun. They're actually fairly well made. You know, and like I love them because like it's just whatever type of movie that they wanted to make, and then that the studio or the filmmakers themselves wanted to make, and then you throw Santo in there because for the same reason you would like hire Johnny Depp or something, because his name will draw people, and then like any like like actually they would do in a good wrestling promotion. You put him in situations that'll emphasize his strengths and hide his weaknesses. And you have a good, fun movie that's going to make a lot of money and will still be discovered by future generations years later. That was probably never the intent, the rediscovery. But making a lot of money was probably the intent. Getting a movie made was probably the intent. I didn't, because I wanted to get this done and then go to bed. I didn't check out what was going to be next week's film, but you can look that up yourself. They're on El Rey. Hopefully your satellite or whatever or cable carrier carries it, or you can find it on the internet. But you could probably track the movies down yourself if you don't have El Rey, and give them a watch. they're all fun little movies. Nice little exploitation films mostly. You know, horror, sci-fi, westerns, and then give and then what I watched today. What I watched, not today. I watched lots of things today on YouTube. Uh, my YouTube selection, though, this evening while before the movie was the Some More News, starring Cody Johnson. Um, it was a what he had done last week. He did a an hour long on pretending that institutional racism doesn't exist, and it was these various right wing guys who, you know, are trying to pretend like that the issue of institutional racism isn't a real thing, and that the long history of white supremacy in America isn't a real thing, and it has no real effect on black folks living today, and even to a certain extent, white folks living today, and it is a real thing. It does have an effect, but this week he did, and I hadn't, because I follow a lot of people, so it sometimes to get to all the videos it takes me a little while. I think it's a couple days ago he did a video specific to, and it's his second time. He did a while back. He did one on Ben Shapiro, but Ben, and we don't know if he watched Cody's show um, or not, but he went on Joe Rogan, and Rogan clearly did his research and for once did a nice little pushback on while discussing the topic. And basically, we were, Cody was showing us the video and talking about things, and in the video, talking about responding to Ben's answers further uh, when Mr. Rogan actually asked a good question or made a really solid point. Talked about that. Um, there's a good mix of humor in there. So, everything was done in a very comedic way, in a very good way. And I find it a really cool show. It's really nice. Uh, he did a similar thing on when he worked with Cracked, but I think that to me, it feels um, a little less restrained now. The comedy is still there and the humor is still there, but the points he wants to make and the things he wants to discuss I feel this show does it a little bit better than the show he did on Cracked. Anyways, that's what I watched this week. I mean, I watched other things, but that's what I wanted to talk about. Did my other video for my classic movie that I went to see. All right, man. All right. God, I say stupid shit a lot. All right, love you. Bye.